Hey, what is up? What is up, YouTube, gaming family, boxing family? It is IK right here. I'm back at it with another video for y'all today. And today like we have a pretty good guest for today. I got like a boxing live stream for y'all. So yeah, let's get right into it. I got featherweight fighter Keith Cologne coming in right now. I'm gonna bring it in and let's get right to it. Hey, how's it going, Keith?
What's going on?
Not much. How's everything with you, bro?
Everything good, everything good. How about you?
Everything's doing very well. How's everything
Yeah,
with like your day so far?
everything been smooth, training good, relaxing, recovering, everything smooth.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, I'd like to say thank you for coming on and welcome. Um, I definitely wanted to ask some questions just to kick things off. I just wanted to basically ask if you don't mind, basically explaining to the audience who you are and how'd you get into boxing?
My name is Keith Cologne. I got into boxing at the age of 12. I started competing. I'm now a professional fighter. 9-0, 9 knockouts.
Okay, nice. Um, what actually pushed you to be who you are right now? Like, if it wasn't for boxing, did you have like other paths that you wanted to take?
Yeah, I played many different sports: baseball, basketball, football. I was pretty good in all of them. Just coming out of high school, just kind of diverted from the other sports and boxing fell into my lap.
Okay, nice. Do you have like that type of drive where boxing is something that chooses you versus you choosing it just because like you just want to get into it because other greats have gone into it and actually made like a huge particular impact?
Nah, I mean, I just always, I always just like, learning how to fight, just getting, toning my skills, getting better. I always appreciated the art, learning by watching the other greats. And then it's just one thing happened to another. One spar led to bigger spars. The bigger spars led to fights. Fights led to tournaments, to international tournaments, to now pro fighter.
Okay, nice. um as far as where everything's at with your division that you're in, do you plan on staying at where you're at right now? Like, what's your goals as far as like what you want to do for like where you're at, in your pro career?
Um, First I want to, obtain a world title at 126. Possibly unify. Get some big fights around 126, then move up to 130s. And just see how far it take me, weight wise, whether how far I move up, 135, 140, just expand in every way possible.
Okay. Yeah, because I actually wanted to ask you, like, what big fights do you want to see yourself in as far as any particular names that you're trying to go for? Maybe certain contemporaries that are in your division or any bigger names at the higher weight classes?
To be honest, I don't really care about, not like names or this or that, just big fights, the mega fights. Um, when the time is right later on down the line. I say I don't care for names because
Oh, can you hear me? Oh,
yeah, I can hear you. 30
yeah, I think you're breaking up.
fight, so but then when he fight Canelo, that was just a mega fight. So I don't really care for names or it doesn't really matter. Whoever is there, whoever's across from me, whoever signed the contract, that's who it is.
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, because I wanted to just ask you that, like, if you had like certain big rival names that you wanted to go after. Like, personally, I actually want to see you in the ring with that one fighter, um, possibly in the future. I want to see you in the ring with Carmel Martin and that other kid. I think his name is Zaquin Moses. I don't know. I don't know if you possibly know him.
Yeah, I'm real familiar with him. Kamel, if I'm not mistaken, he weight classes above me. Zay Quinn, he probably like one or two weight classes above me, but I'm real familiar with them.
Okay, nice. Yeah, like I also wanted to ask, who are you training with? Like as far as like like your training regimen.
I'm training with my dad, Coach Muhammad Abdul Salam, and Coach Gabby Starks.
Oh, okay, nice. Do you plan on trying to get with the bigger level trainers, or do you think everything is good right now?
Nah, those are the big level trainers. They just not known. They helped me my whole career. They got me to the top in the amateurs, and the
Nice,
same thing gonna happen in the pros.
nice. As far as like as far as like preparing for your fights, like do you spar with the high level competition that's there right now? Like any notable names that are in the sport. Like do you constantly do you constantly put yourself in that realm of training with up and coming talent that's that's at the world title level as we speak.
Yeah, I'm from Jersey, so everybody either when they come up, they try to leave Jersey, for a better surrounding. But you got New York right there, so
Yeah.
train a lot with Richardson Hitchens. Go a lot up to Bozy in his gym for sparring. So you see the likes of
Oh,
Javon
nice.
Hayes, Sandy Cruz. So yeah.
Yeah. I do believe you are very closely connected with Shakur Stevenson. Have you actually sparred up against him, or been around that type of talent, right?
Yeah, I started when I was much younger. I was, still amateur, probably like 17, 18. So that was a while ago. That's why I don't really bring it up like that. It was just such a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, because I was gonna say, as far as your amateur career, did you have any dreams of like trying to bring that to the Olympics?
Oh yeah, that was the goal. That was the goal. Going the Olympic route was the goal. I was fighting internationally, and it just came about that it was an Olympic qualifier the same month as the top ranked card in my city. So
Oh,
you
nice.
know, yeah. So we just weighed our options, and then we decided just to make the transition from amateur to pro. But um, the goal was to go to the Olympics for sure.
Yeah, that would have been the Tokyo like Olympics, right, for 2024, or I think.
Uh, Probably so. Yeah, probably so.
Oh, wait, actually, no, that's the Paris. Yeah. That's like the Paris Olympics, and then before that was the Tokyo 2020 like Olympics.
Yeah.
Now that I'm actually thinking like about it, so.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. I also wanted to ask, as far as like where you're at right now in your career, like, are there like any particular venues that you're trying to like actually fight at to kind of like get those bigger level, how should I say, popularity like attractions? Like, do you have certain venues that that you would like to fight at in the future, like Madison Square Garden or T-Mobile like Arena or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say, I'm trying to fight in certain venues. I'm just trying to fight on bigger cars. That's what, we working on at the moment, just getting on bigger cars, more notable cars, more mainstream cars, just to display my skills to the world.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I was gonna say like you did very well, on the Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith card up against a Mexican fighter. Um, I forgot what that guy's name was, but um, I actually wanted to like to ask you like about that fight. Did that fight give you like a lot of like experience as far as like like the veteran level skill set that type of fighter had, and how did you actually like evolve like going into that fight?
Yeah, it did give me some experience. That was my longest pro fight. Going 7 rounds. That was also my first time going 7 rounds. But you also learn in the gym. So it was like really just second nature to me. It wasn't
Yeah.
nothing new. It was new under the lights and professionally fighting. But I do it all the time in the gym. So For real, it wasn't really nothing new to me, so I wouldn't really say it evolved me majorly in any type of way.
Yep.
It was just, like now it was just something that I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like you did very well. Like you have like
thank
a
you.
really like as far as like what I see, like you have like a very strong jab, and like you actually break fighters down very very methodically, and like your like opponents don't know what's what's actually coming, because like you make everything unpredictable with like your shots. And I was gonna ask like about like your fighting style. How would you describe your style? Are you more of like a boxer puncher, or pure boxer, or more like a brawler? How it how would you basically analyze like your style based off of where you're at right now?
I was just say I'm a boxer puncher. Like how you said, I break my opponents down, and I just do it methodically. Yeah.
Do you work more on defense or offense, like as you're training, like in your fight camps? Like do you focus more on being more more of a technical defensive fighter, or very offensive heavy?
Uh, Honestly, we do both. Anytime we do one, next time we do the other. So, and that's what everything. So just try to be well rounded as possible.
Okay, nice. I was gonna say, like, what type of shots do you actually try to like basically set up when you're trying to get those big type of power shots? Do you work more on like the signature punches where you try to hide like the punches that are going to hurt your like opponents when you're in certain how should I say exchanges where you're trying to get like that right counter, like counter shot to hurt somebody, to the point where you have like the distance set up, and you have everything technically planned out when you're trying to make like that next shot, like to basically simplify it, like do you go into fights thinking that, okay, if I see the opportunity to hurt my like opponent, you basically set those traps early, so therefore you can basically pressure your like opponent to basically get those how should I say harder punches to be landed, so therefore you can get those particular knockouts, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Of course, each fighter is different, so I wouldn't say I look for any particular shot. Each fighter is different. Some I may find that it's easier to go to the body. Others I may find that it's easier to go to the head. But yeah, you explained it well.
Okay, nice. um I was gonna say, do you believe that you're ready to kind of go like maybe like the higher rounds, like a 10 rounder, or maybe like a 12 rounder heading into the future? Like, what's your roadmap as far as you trying to like get yourself to that world title? Do you want to fast track your career, or do you just want to take things slow to kind of see where your just like to see where your durability is at heading into those tougher fights?
Yeah, I feel as though that, especially, off of like going based off of my last fight, which was my first 8 rounder. I do feel like I'm ready for the 8 rounds, 10 rounds, maybe not so the 12 yet. Because just had like not preparing for that at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, am I trying to fast track my career? Not at all. I feel as though timing and everything is important. Rushing the process is where people fail and go wrong. I'm not going to be a prospect or a contender forever, but right timing, that's rare. It's right. I'm not trying to be the youngest world champion.
Yeah.
That's for other people that they want to do. My goal is to be a world champ. At the end of the day, a world champ is a world champ. Be a world champ, collect the titles, big fights.
Do you plan on wanting to get undisputed to a certain time frame, or does it not matter to you? Do you just want to try to get a world title and then fight the best competition, and then if the opportunity comes to unify titles to become undisputed, and let's just say 2 or 3 weight classes, like but you want to like basically build your legacy, and then if you do get that popularity boosting, that will come like with like the hard work that you put in, regardless of like who you fight, right?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm aiming to be undisputed or anything like that. Um, just of course, the goal is to be a world champion and get as many belts as possible. But I'm not like it's not like a milestone for me
Yeah,
or a big ambitious goal for me to be undisputed. I'd be lying if that was true. But like I said, collect because that also take time. It take a lot of
yeah,
time to do that. Because there's many things that play into that factor. So, of course, get a world title. They just try to make the biggest fights possible.
yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna say, are you currently ranked right now in any sanctioned body, or are you planning on trying to petition to probably be ranked within like the WBC or WBA or IBF or WBO?
I probably am. I'm not even sure. I know I'm ranked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not even sure, but I know I'm ranked. Like, if I'm not mistaken, if I get, I know I'm ranked. But I just don't know in which sanctioning bodies or what number. I don't know.
Yeah, I think personally you should be ranked at least top 10 or maybe top 15 because it's like I don't see that many guys actually wanting to really like put themselves in that position to be next to you. So like I think like, if you're good, you should be ranked a lot higher than most guys, but it's like, knowing how
Facts.
politics is, with all the sanction bodies, I don't like how they try to pick and choose, certain fighters to be on there. But yeah, like I just wanted to ask that. I also wanted to ask in regards to your fan base, I do see that you're very connected with the Puerto Rican fan base. Do you have more solidarity with that fan base? Do you have how should I say, like, as far as your fan base goes, like what type of fan base are you trying to reach out to for people to support you more?
Um, Truthfully, who it like I don't, I'm not trying to target how can I say that? I'm not trying to target or I don't want just a specific fan base. My goal in this is to become a superstar.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to, I want fans from all, different types of cultures, ethnic groups, everything. I just represent what I am. I just represent, my identity, my family, my culture, and I carry it with pride. So, but to say, like, what type of fan base, I want everybody to rock with me. I want everybody to watch my
yeah.
fights. I want everybody to support.
Yeah, because I was just curious, like, about that, because it seems like that the Puerto Rican side of like what you support, that seems like a very strong fan base that is very connected, directly to you. And I think, as far as like where you're at right now, um, if you're trying to diversify to like the whole world, do you believe as far as like building a fan base that should be something that's more organic rather than trying to make people support you by trying to push like a certain like agenda for that fan base?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like everybody is different. Floyd, he just went. Like I don't want to be cliche and just say the money Mayweather route, but
Yeah,
that's what he pushed. Like I'm a guy that got a lot of money. Other people they Mike Tyson he pushed like the scary man route. The person, the boogeyman. So
yeah.
everybody is different. I don't feel like people push certain narratives to gain a certain type of following or fan base. I think people just trying to find what best fits them for their career, and they just kind of take it and run with it. Me, I'm gonna just be myself, be 100%, be authentic, get in the ring, fight, and just keep living my life.
Okay, well, I was gonna ask about for the Puerto Rican fan base. Do you plan on possibly fighting in Puerto Rico heading into the future?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's always a goal. That's something that I definitely want to do in the near future. If
Nice.
any opportunities come like that, we definitely gonna jump on it and make it happen.
Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm Puerto Rican myself, but I actually was gonna say, if you ever were to fight, in Puerto Rico, I'd like to see you, like like basically hypothetically speaking, like if it were to happen, maybe you being on a card with Amanda Serrano and maybe Xander Zayas, on the same card. Like maybe
Yeah,
have something like that, or try to try to like make something big like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that'd be fire.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I should say, do you have any favorite Puerto Rican fighters, that you like, or anything like that for boxing?
Uh, Currently, of course, I rock with Amanda Serrano.
Oh, okay.
Also Matias. Matias. Even despite him losing, I feel as though um, winning losses doesn't, make a fighter. I really seen him up close and personal with his fans, how he's connected with them, uh, and how they see him and how they view him. They almost view him as a standard of like a Tito Trinidad or Miguel Cotto, and that's fire to me. So, but if you dating back in time, I'll say Miguel Cotto for sure. That's like a Puerto Rican fighter that I grew up on. So I'll say Miguel Cotto.
Well, I was gonna ask you, as far as Puerto Rican boxing history, I wanted to ask you this very important question. Do you know who was the very first Puerto Rican champion for Puerto Rican boxing?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, I will give you the answer. That person's name was Sixto Escobar.
Okay,
He was like
okay,
the very first champion that held the National Boxing Organization, the National Boxing like Association title. I want to say sometime within like the 1900s, maybe like the 1930s and 40s. But that organization later became like the WBA later on in time. I think back in 1961. But yeah, he was basically like the first champion, and back then was like the one belt era, to that degree. So to that level, like I mean, like a lot of fighters, after him, started to basically grow from that point on, with the guys like Carlos Ortiz, Juan Carlos Torres, and like many other talents.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was also gonna say, do you do you have any certain hobbies that you like to do outside of boxing? Like listening to music or doing anything like that?
Yeah, I just like new experiences. Like like buying nice clothes, getting dressed, going out, trying new foods, traveling the world, seeing different things, like being on a nice island with water. I just like new experiences.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because I was gonna say for music, do you possibly like salsa music? Do you like salsa, reggaeton, rap music, or
Yeah, I like pretty much everything. Growing up, I heard a variety of different music, so for me, it just depends on what type of vibe I'm in, and I bump anything.
okay, nice. Yeah, because I was gonna ask you like who's like your favorite artist? Like, do you like Bad Bunny, Jay-Z, Beyonce, or anything like that?
Yeah, I like Bad Bunny just because of his influence. If we just talking like Puerto Rican, I like Bad Bunny,
Yeah.
Ozuna. I really don't have a particular, but
Okay.
it really depends on, like I said, what type of vibe I'm in. But I don't really listen to just one specific artist.
Hey, don't forget the Super Bowl. He's like Bad Bunny is performing at the
Facts,
Super
facts,
Bowl. So
facts.
yeah, but I mean, there's plenty of other good artists out there too. Like Anuel, Young Miko, um, Archangel. I think that's his name. But I mean, um, I also wanted to say for the salsa artists, do you like Hector Lavoe, Willie Colon, or how should I say, any of those old school artists?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said before, growing up, those is the music that playing in my household. I'm real
Oh,
in
okay.
tune and familiar with all of that. Like my dad Puerto Rican, my mother is Puerto Rican, so it's like I'm in tune with the culture, and I'm hip to a lot of things. I'm just in
Nice.
Jersey. That's it.
Do you know the original name for Puerto Rico?
No, I don't.
Yeah, the original name is the Taino name for Borikén. That
Oh,
means great
okay.
land. Yeah, yeah, it means great land of the brave, valiant people.
Okay,
That's
okay.
in the Taino language. But yeah. I was also gonna say, like, what else connects you, like outside of boxing? Like, do you value more as far as being connected with like your family and trying to like have certain goals to be successful after like you're done with boxing? Like, do you have certain you know do you have certain commitments that you put yourself in to be like, this is where I want to be, when I'm at this particular level, and this is how I want to get things done to put myself at a greater level of success, right?
Yeah, there's definitely things that I want to accomplish, in boxing and outside of boxing. Um, I go to school, so about to be done with that. So that's like a accomplishment that I just did. Um, just to better myself and more knowledge. It doesn't hurt at the time, so why not? But just continue. I just want to continue to prosper, financially, mentally, spiritually. Possibly, you know, do something for my parents, like provide them with a better home, or move them out, retire them, because they work hard, and they're the reason I am who I am. I'm a product of them and my family, so of course, give back to my family first, and just be a positive role model to the community.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm definitely with you there. I'm a very hardworking man myself, and that's how I value myself too. Um, Yeah, because I just wanted to ask that because I think there's something within human nature where if you have like a purpose in life, as a man, you should have certain goals to be put into like your life before things can evolve to be something greater. And I wanted to see what your purpose was because I think not a lot of guys have that, coming into like their younger life. And do you do you do you believe that you should have like a purpose with trying to be the best that you can be rather than trying to doubt yourself and not think that you can be successful to where you want to be?
Yeah, I never even thought about that due to the fact of, like, my upbringing, and like I said, my parents and how they raised me and molded me. Like, that was installed in me since a kid. Not even, like, it's not just something that I just started doing today. I always wanted to be the best, my best self. Since a kid. If I
Yeah.
got B's on the report card, the next quarter I wanted to get all A's. So it was something that was been
Yeah.
installed in me before the boxing. So that's just who I am, and that's due to my upbringing, and and how my parents and family molded me. So yeah, that's just second nature.
Did you get A's back in high school?
Yeah, yeah. I went to a Catholic high school.
Oh, okay, nice,
On the
nice.
road.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was gonna say, what school do you go to that you're finishing up over in college, right?
yeah. I go to Rutgers, no,
Oh,
Rutgers
nice.
University.
Is that like a high level school, right? That's basically up there with Princeton, right?
Nah, this is like, every school got they, how can I say, they strong points. My school is, like, if I'm not mistaken, possibly like top 6, 7, or 8, and, like, for business. A lot of people from my
Oh, okay, yeah,
location. It's one of the most competitive business schools in the country. That's what I
yeah,
say.
yeah. Because I was gonna say, I think Princeton is like basically the top school up there nationwide,
Yeah,
with other schools, and then Rutgers it
yeah.
like is also like
It's
a
the
big school
Ivy.
as well.
It's the Ivy League school, so it's much harder to get into. But yeah, yeah.
Oh, do you have like a certain career that you're trying to do after you graduate, or?
Yeah, my major is psychology.
Oh, okay, nice. Do you plan to like get into that field after boxing?
Yeah, for sure. I plan to use it on just giving back to the community, helping the community out. I feel like everything starts in the mind. The way you shape, the way your mind is shaped, and the way how you're thinking is shaped could possibly set you up for the future or set you up for failure. So I really just want to use it to just give back to the community and start from the grassroots, nothing major. I don't want to have no business or anything with it. Boxing gonna get me through the door, and then other ventures gonna come that that is gonna be there for me when the time is right.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Because I was gonna ask, are you planning on wanting to be a psychiatrist, to that degree, or
Nah, not really.
okay? Um, yeah, like I just also wanted to just ask like a few more questions before I get things going, to wrap things up because I don't want to hold you on longer. Um, what is the main purpose of where you're at right now, and what are your like basically like what is your ultimate goal to bring back to your community, when it's all said and done, when you decide to retire from boxing?
What do I want to bring back to my community? Like just like how we were just talking about purpose. I feel as though there's a good amount of people that quote unquote made it from Newark, um, but a lot of them is not reachable. A lot of them is not touchable. A lot of them don't give kids, resources, opportunities to be successful, and I feel like that's the disconnect right there. So I just want to come back to my community, just give them a purpose, show them that it's a way out, and the same way that I did it, they could do it in however they want to do it. Whether it's school, it's just giving them the knowledge, to shape their lives and their careers. And understand that you ain't just gotta play basketball, football, baseball. You ain't even gotta box. There's other ways to be successful, get money out here.
Yeah, because I also wanted to ask you, do you feel like that's a lack of self awareness and self reliance out of most people that think like that within that type of a generational mindset, to not
Um,
be your own man and actually be successful to where you could be, but you decide to hold yourself back because other people, keep you, in that mindset to not go up there to be successful.
I don't even feel like that's a lack of awareness. It's just if you don't know, you don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of things that because I'm in the position that I'm in, I learned by other people. You get once you hit a certain type of level, you start being in different rooms. If you're not accessible to those rooms, you won't even know that you're working harder, 10 times harder than the next man. That's the thing. A lot of people nowadays they work way harder than they even supposed to when it's really not that hard. So like I said, just giving back to the community, giving them resources to understand, like, look, you can do this. You already put the hard work in. You keep running through the wall. You don't even know the back door open for you is unlocked. So that's just the mindset that I'm trying to install in the youth when I'm up there and able to.
Yeah, because I also wanted to ask you, like, based off of what you're trying to say, if that person that does think like that does not know that there's other greater opportunities to be like accomplished if it's right in front of them. That's where that, like, how should I say it? That's where that type of guidance should be necessary to assist those people in order to get to that particular level. Like, is that what you're trying to say, right?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, I just don't want to hold you up any longer. Like, I know that that things are very busy with you. Do you have any other future upcoming dates for any fights that are coming up?
Stay tuned. Like I said this year, we're looking for the big fights,
Okay.
big cards. So that's nothing is finalized yet. Just got done fighting, so we just weighing our options. Take things, just weighing our options and see what's the best route to go to next at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. 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 Like, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I hope you can get those world title like accomplishments done pretty soon. And yeah, like I definitely like appreciate you for coming out. Do you have any final words, that you like to say, to the
Uh,
audience before, yeah.
So I say thank to everybody that tuned in. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, I definitely appreciate you for coming through. Feel free to come back again if you wanna, chop it up. And I wish you nothing but the best, bro.
Appreciate that. Likewise.
All right. I will see you later. All right. Okay, guys. I appreciate you guys for coming through. I want to say Keith was, a little bit laggy with his connection, but either way, I managed to get that done. Shout out to you, Bam Bam. Don't forget this fighter right here, Mr. Brandon Bam Bam Ortiz. You got some big news coming up in the future, in which I'm not too sure what's going on, but I definitely want to get him back onto the show. But shout out to you, Brandon, and shout out to your whole family. Brandon said, "I wish him all the best," and yeah, shout out to everybody, man. I had a really good time talking with Keith, and yeah, I think Keith, he's definitely gonna be a absolute problem, for boxing. And I think, where he's at right now, he's doing pretty good. So, yeah, I definitely had a pretty good time chatting with him. And yeah, definitely stay tuned. I definitely got, some other big plans coming up for, boxing interviews and, other content. So, yeah, appreciate you guys coming through. Shout out to you, Bam Bam, and shout out to the whole family. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. Don't forget, there is a fight coming up tomorrow for Raymond Muratalla versus how should I say, Andy Cruz. Yeah, Andy Cruz. He's a Cuban dude. So Raymond and Andy will be fighting tomorrow. So I'm definitely looking forward to that card. And yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'm going to be signing off right now. And obviously, for any other future, content that I put onto the channel, I'm gonna put that up onto the channel. Definitely got some gaming content that I'm gonna be publishing pretty soon, and and then also more boxing content. So, but I will say, for some good news for anybody that is watching right now, um, I will go to the Manny Pacquiao fight card in Verona, New York, over at the Turning Stone Casino. I want to say that's on February 28th. So I will be going to that, and I will be having a good time to cover boxing content over there. So definitely stay tuned for that, and I will definitely give you guys some content for that, because I will be doing some media coverage for that. So shout out to everybody that came through, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, all right, I will see you guys later. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will give you guys the outro, and I will get up out of here. But yeah, shout out to Keith Cologne. That was a pretty good, show that I had. And yeah, man, give me 1 second. I'm actually going to log into my other computer, and then I'm actually going to give you all the outro. So hold on, give me 1 second. I'll just play the background. All right, I'm back. So give me 1 second. I'll just get the outro going. And yeah, guys, thank you guys for coming through. I will see you guys very soon. And yeah, here's the outro. Oh, sorry about that. All right, I'll give it to you guys right now. All right, I'll see you guys. Hope you guys have a great day, and peace out. All right, I'll see you guys later, and peace.